morning, students. So the last two types of Atterberg indices are flow index and toughness index. Okay, so this flow index we have studied in the previous lecture under experiment to find the liquid limit. Okay, so the experimental result of this liquid limit is plotted like this, that is plotted as flow curve, that is water content on y-axis and number of blows on x-axis. And since as water content increases, the number of blow decreases, the variation of flow curve is like this, and the slope of this flow curve is actually flow index. Okay, that is flow index is the slope of the flow curve which is obtained between the number of blows and water content in Casagrande method of determination of liquid limit. So in order to determine the liquid limit, we are using Casagrande apparatus, and the experimental result of this liquid limit is actually this flow curve, and the slope of this flow curve is flow index. Okay, so the expression for flow index is like this, that is for calculating this flow index we are taking the slope of this flow curve. For that we are taking two water contents, say W1 and W2, and the corresponding number of blows are N1 and N2. So equation for this flow index is W1 minus W2 divided by log to the base 10 N2 by N1. That is it is actually the slope of this flow curve. And since this number of blow we are plotted in logarithmic scale, the expression is like this, that is log to the base 10 N2 divided by N1. Okay, so here N1 is the number of blow required at a water content of W1, and N2 is the number of blow required at a water content of W2. Okay, so the flow index it is represented as I suffix f, IF. So IF is actually the flow the slope of flow curve. Okay, so the last type of index or Atterberg index is toughness index, and it is represented as IT, I suffix T, or TA, toughness index, and it is defined as the ratio of plasticity index to flow index. So we have studied what is plasticity index. Plasticity index is the difference between liquid limit and plastic limit, that is plasticity index, and flow index is the slope of flow curve, this one. So the ratio between this plasticity index and the flow index is known as toughness index. Okay, so so up to this we have studied different Atterberg indices like liquidity index, plasticity index, then consistency index, then flow index, toughness index. Okay, so we can do one problem based on this. A soil has a liquid limit of 25% and flow index of 12.5%. If the plastic limit is 15%, determine the plasticity index and toughness index. And if the water content of the soil in its natural condition in the field is 20%, find the liquidity index and relative consistency. Okay, so here liquid limit is given, flow index, plastic limit is given, then water content in natural condition, that is Wn, is given as 20%. So we have to find all these indices. And first one, we can calculate what is plasticity index. So plasticity index is equal to liquid limit minus plastic limit, and liquid limit is 25% and plastic limit is 15%. So plasticity index is 10%. Okay, so that is the first answer. Next we can calculate the toughness index. Okay, so since this plasticity index and flow index is the toughness index is the ratio between plasticity index and flow index. So plasticity index is 10, flow index is given as 12.5%. So toughness index is 10 divided by 12.5, that is 0.8 or 80%. Okay, and next so plasticity index and toughness index we have calculated. Next we have to find liquidity index and relative consistency or consistency index. So liquidity index is equal to water content in the natural condition minus plastic limit divided by plasticity index. Okay, so water content in the natural state is given as 20%, so it can be written as 0.2 minus this plastic limit as 15%, that is 0.15, divided by plasticity index as 10% or 0.1. So if we want to express in percentage, we can multiply by 100, so its answer is 50%. Okay, that is liquidity index. Then relative consistency or consistency index, IC, is equal to liquid limit minus water content in the natural state divided by plasticity index, and liquid limit is given as 25 percentage 0.25 minus this water content is 20 percentage 0.2 divided by plasticity index obtained as 10 percentage, that is 0.1 into 100, that is 50 percentage. Okay, so these are different types of Atterberg indices and expression for this different indices. Okay, thank you.